And show, I'm back in the warm studio after 8 days of blood, sweat and tears on a rickshaw. It's Matt Baker.
Thank you very much. Top of the Strictly leaderboard, Alex Jones.
My jaw was on the floor, literally. Anyway, you've had the weekend to sort of recover.
Yes.
Are you still in pain?
My thighs are burning like you wouldn't believe. And after you said to me, you look really drawn, I got on the scales when I got home, and I've lost 1.25 stone in 7 days. There we go.
That's a lot of work. There we are. Get the cake down you.
Yeah, indeed. But when I got into the office today, this was what greeted me. Look, a lovely sight full of congratulations cards. Thank you so much. Honestly, I have been overwhelmed by all of the letters, the gifts, the stuff that you've been saying. So thanks ever so much for your generosity.
Yeah, brilliant. And if you still want to donate but haven't got round to it yet, details will be coming up later in the show.
Yes.
Now, but first, what about introducing tonight's guest? Apart from being in the most famous comedy group in the world,
Yeah, writing one of the greatest sitcoms of all time.
and making some of the funniest films ever made.
What has tonight's guest ever done for us?
Well, let's find out, shall we? It's Don Cleese.
How are you, John? Good to see you.
How are you? Nice sit down.
Sit yourself down.
Oh, it's nice to see you again.
Well, that was amazing what you did. I really admire it.
Thank you.
He's a hero. He is definitely a hero. And his knees, bless him, have taken a right bashing over the last week.
Yes.
But what about all those silly walks you used to do, John?
Well,
Did they
I
affect
can't
your
do them.
knees?
I can't do them anymore because I have an artificial hip and an artificial knee. Seriously,
Really?
I had a total knee replacement about 12 months ago. And I'm just saying to people who are considering it, it's pretty tough. I
Yeah.
didn't get a proper night's sleep for 6 months, if you can believe that, because you're waking up a lot. So if you've got to have it done, just look after yourself.
And
You
a
can't-
year on then? How?
A year on, it's weak, because what they say, which is kind of funny, is that you should get in the gym and strengthen these muscles and then rest. And you say, but I have this thing called my life. And they say, yes, but anyway, get in the gym and then rest. So,
Well, John, listen, we're looking forward to chatting shortly about your new DVD and what have you. And look out for a lost Monty Python sketch that hasn't been seen on British television for nearly 40 years.
Yeah. Now, John played the very strict headmaster Brian Stimson in the film Clockwise. Now, with all the talk about increasing discipline in our schools, maybe his character should be seen as a bit of a role model.
Simon Boseman has been finding out. It's just the kind of approach that has helped one man produce an amazing academic success story in one of the most deprived areas in the country. The drama is now the highest paid actor on American TV.
He penned a paperback, which became a bestseller.
And he's now taken the music world by storm.
We love him, though, because at heart, well, he's a bit of a bumbler.
Pardon me for saying so, sir.
Our 3-year-old grandson Sam loves Hugh Laurie so much he sings along to what he calls the My song, which is track 2.
Right.
Yeah. And he has to have it on in the car wherever he goes.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what are you playing for us?
With the 3-year-olds.
What are you going to do for us?
We are going to do a song made famous by the great Ray Charles, Hallelujah, I Love Her So.
Beautiful, sounds good.
Okay, take it away for us.
Thank you, thank you. And if you want to see Dame Laura Knight's paintings, then they are part of an exhibition of women war artists at the Imperial War Museum in London. But do be quick, it's only on until Sunday.
It is. Now, Twiggy, everybody, of course, thinks of you as a model, but you actually quit. You quit modelling, though, didn't you?
I did.
Initially, has told us it was £6,021. Now, that's a fair bit more than the £500 discount and £50 cash that they offered initially, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, good news to all travel lovers. Simon Calder is here now. Now, of course, Simon, everybody wants a good deal. They're looking for the cheapest, but how do you know if it's genuine?
Well, first of all, I'm not going to say £1,000, £1,500, and she'd know that something was very badly wrong.
Yeah.
But
Well, we made a film on the One Show recently about how Thomas Cook started.
See Dame Laura Knight's paintings, and they are part of an exhibition of women war artists at the Imperial War Museum in London. But do be quick, it's only on until Sunday.
It is. Now, Twiggy, everybody, of course, thinks of you as a model, but you actually quit. You quit modelling, though, didn't you?
I did. Initially, in 1970, I did my first film with Ken Russell, The Boyfriend, which was a musical comedy, a pastiche of the 1920s. And when I started doing the film, it was like, for me, it was like entering the secret garden. It was like, oh my God, this is what I want to do.
Was it a hard transition from modelling into movies?
I didn't plan to do it, but then I didn't plan to model. You know, I was snatched from being a schoolgirl, and suddenly I was going everywhere around the world as, you know, the face of 66.
Yeah.
And I kind of fell into that, and then meeting Ken Russell was the big turning point for me, because he became like my mentor. And you've got to remember, at that time he was one of the biggest film directors in the world.
Yeah.
So for him to want me to do it, it kind of gives you a bit of... I was scared, and I went off to tap class and singing lessons and everything. I mean, I could always sing in tune, but I'd never done it professionally.
I mean, you did train really hard for that role.
I did. Well, it's a bit like what you're doing.
Well,
now.
of course,
If you work hard and you train, you know.
Well, we'll have a look at you now in The Boyfriend. Here you are.
Brilliant, super timing. Good timing there.
Oh, I'm a mean little tapper.
Do you still get up and do it?
I do. Actually, I still do tap lessons because I love them.
Really?
It's really good for you. They don't really do tap on.
No, we do. Well, we're doing the Charleston this week.
Oh, that's great.
Let's move it straight.
If only you'd brought your tap shoes.
Yeah, and I
I'm
mean,
glad I didn't.
I know we would have had you up.
But I do it. It's really good. Just to keep fit, it's brilliant. Tap
Yeah.
It makes you happy. And you feel like Fred Astaire.
Yeah.
You know, my hero.
But I mean, 2 Golden Globes.
I did. I won 2 Golden Globes for that. I'm very proud of them.
Is it a proper globe that you
It's
actually
a
get?
proper globe on a marble plinth.
Nice to have, too.
Yeah.
But let's move on to a new album, Romantically Yours. Now, what's the best song on the album to dance to, would you say?
Oh gosh, well it's not a boppy album because, as the title
Yeah.
says, Romantically Yours.
Lots of nice
It's very
ballads.
romantic. So I think there's a beautiful old song called Someone to Watch Over Me, which you can have a nice smoochy dance to.
That's lovely. And there's another track on here that you describe as the most romantic track of all time.
I think it probably is. It's written by my friend Richard Marx, and I think it's probably played at more weddings than any other song. He wrote it initially for his wife 20 odd years ago.
It is,
and he duets it with me.
Yeah.
Which I'm very proud of, and I love him and I love the song.
The album is sort of a mixed bag, isn't it? There's a lot of sort of old stuff and then new stuff. How did you choose the tracks then?
We started, it was going to be an all-period album because that's kind of what I do. You know, I was on Broadway doing a Gershwin musical in the 80s, and The Boyfriend is 20. So I love that period of music. I mean, they are the greatest songs. So there's My Funny Valentine on it, and Someone to Watch Over Me, and, you know, various ones like that. And then while we were putting the mix in, I kind of thought, oh, I've always wanted to do Right Here Waiting. And then I thought, oh, I want to do Angel of the Morning, and I want to do Waterloo Sunset. So they are old songs, but they're not as old. They're kind of 60s and 70s.
Yeah. So there's going to be another album coming out of all the ones that you...
Yeah, my list was endless.
the romantic ones I couldn't quite squeeze in.
And then I wanted to do one with my daughter, so we picked the Neil Young song, Only Love Can Break Your Heart. So.
Yeah, well, it's a lovely album. And Romantically Yours is out in the shops now.
Yes. Now then, as we mentioned earlier on, One Family's home video of a boy called John, who's taking over the show, isn't he, really? Biting his brother's finger, has been viewed over 390 million times on the internet.
Yes, and it's now making little Charlie's parents a lot of money. So what makes a home movie a worldwide hit? Well, Lucy Siegel logged on to find out.
Can't beat it. And another fan of the rocket is here, Dan Snow. Now, Dan, as we saw there, the Brits were leading the way in the 19th century, but by the 20th century, other nations were winning the rocket race.
As so often, the other nations overtook Britain, particularly America, I suppose, in the 1920s. Probably the man who is the father of modern rockets and space rockets is a guy called Robert Goddard, and he experimented, this picture of him here with a brilliant blackboard, you see he looks like a rocket scientist. And he experimented with liquid propulsion, which is more efficient, basically. And his 1926 first ever rocket launch of his liquid rocket, 2.5 seconds in the air, went about 50 metres, crashed into a...
Yeah, well, thanks, Dan. And onto another bombshell of a different type. Alex, it's time for you to go and get changed.
I can't wait, right, I'm
Marilyn's
off.
dress is
See you
waiting.
later.
Off you
Okay.
go. I'll wait to see if it fits. Anyway, before that, with the 2012 Olympics only 246 days away, some UK athletes are already seeing their podium dreams fading as they struggle to fund their training. Simon Bozeman wonders what some veterans of the 1948 Olympics would say about that. Good. Has Alex managed to get into Marilyn Monroe's dress? So many questions that spring to mind. Alex, are you there?
I'm here, honey bunny!
Well, Lindsay. Oh my word, look at that! Oh. Looking good, Al. Coming down.
Nice!
How does it feel?
It feels actually amazing. I mean, who would have thought I'd been in Marilyn Monroe dress? It's the best day.
Nicely delivered, boys.
Nicely delivered, very good.
Indeed, well, Andrew Hansford has written a book about all of these dresses, dressing Marilyn. So tell us a little bit about the story of this dress here, Andrew.
You look amazing.
Thank you,
Say, absolutely stunning. I haven't seen that on anybody before.
I just want to keep it on.
She's actually this is actually Marilyn Monroe's dress. What is it? I don't know what
This is How to Marry a Millionaire. It's a prototype based on the original. She wore it at the beginning to work out how to move and manoeuvre in the actual thing, but it's incredible. When it was new, this would have been, there's metal in it that kind of pops it out to the side like that.
Let's have a look at Marilyn in the dress.
Oh, yes.
See, I'm not
Sexy.
quite pulling it off like Marilyn.
I don't know. What do you think? Sorry,
I think they're looking good.
But it is the prototype, it's not the actual dress.
The prototype is the first, so it was the one created so she can run around and work out how
I
it
see,
was
so it
created.
wasn't the actual one. So the fabric might have been different.
No, it's exactly the same.
It's
In
the
every
same
way, it's
fabric.
exactly the same, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What about this one, Andrew? The one that you're next to there.
This is my personal favourite. This is a personal dress that Trevor made for her, and his exact words were, "This was made for a friend, not a movie," so it's a little bit more emotive. But in typical Marilyn style, she went out one particular night in actually Palm Springs, and it was raining, and she got a tire mark all up the side of it, if you can see there. And if you look even closer, there's a lipstick stain on the bottom.
Okay. Now, I tried this dress on too, which was
did.
marvellous. And this one fitted like a glove. But how much would these dresses cost, or is there no price on them?
I couldn't say. I mean, very few have been sold, really, so it's a difficult one. I mean, the white dress did sell 2 months ago for $4.3 million.
Oh my word. That's extreme.
I'm so glad I haven't tipped coffee on this thing.
Well, on that is all we've got time for tonight. Zoe, thanks ever so much indeed. My week with Marilyn is out tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Chris and I are here with someone who really knows how to wear a frock, the one and only Dame Edna Everage.
Yeah, they'll also be joined by the fabulous Penelope Keith. 7 o'clock, don't miss it. Bye-bye.